In the summer of 1977, Oklahoma's 250-acre Camp Scott was alive with laughter, excitement, and adventure. Young Girl Scouts from all over the state had gathered for their annual summer camp. Among these girls were 8-year-old Lori Lee Farmer, 9-year-old Michelle Goose, 10-year-old Doris Milner. Their parents hugged them tightly before sending them off, filled with pride and excitement, but unaware that this would be the final goodbye they would ever give their daughters. On the very first day, something strange happened. A counselor saw a shadowy man lurking near the girls' tents. When she pointed her flashlight at him, he disappeared into the woods instantly. The staff dismissed it as a harmless prank, perhaps a local man wandering around. That night, some girls said someone tried to open the zipper of their tent. Others claimed they heard footsteps outside. But the counselors believed the children were just nervous on their first night. What no one realized was that a killer had already entered Camp Scott. Before we continue this dangerous story, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Now, let's move on. June 13th, 1977. Thunder echoed across the camp. Rain poured down relentlessly. Strong winds shook the trees. Inside the Kiowa unit, the 3 girls were asleep in a tent located at the very edge of the camp, surrounded by dense forest and far from the main cabins. Around 1 a.m., Counselor Carla heard faint whimpers, soft cries, like someone sobbing or struggling. She stepped outside with a flashlight, but the storm's noise swallowed every sound. The crying stopped. Far away, she saw a flashlight moving deep inside the woods, someone walking in complete darkness. Some girls, later interviewed, said they heard a terrifying deep male moan in the night, but with the roar of the winds, no clear voices could be heard. Inside the Kiowa tent, something horrific was already unfolding. At 6 a.m., Counselor Carla began her routine walk toward the Kiowa unit. She immediately noticed something was terribly wrong. Sleeping bags lay dragged across the muddy trail. Belongings were scattered. Flashlights were lying in places they shouldn't be. When she followed the trail into the bushes, she screamed. There, lying on the ground, were the bodies of Lori, Michelle, and Doris. They had been assaulted, beaten, mutilated, and murdered. One girl was tied with rope. Another had deep head injuries. One appeared to have been dragged violently across the mud and rocks. Chaos spread through the camp. The staff rushed to hide the scene from the other children. Police were called immediately. By noon, the story had exploded across the country. Parents cried. Reporters were shaken. The entire nation was horrified. Investigators discovered disturbing clues. A flashlight covered in black tape. A pair of glasses belonging to an escaped criminal. Rope identical to the one used in the murders. Male footprints behind the girls' tent. A hidden cave filled with food scraps, clothing, and newspapers from the same week. All evidence pointed toward one man, Gene Leroy Hart, a violent criminal, a rapist, and a master escape artist who had broken out of jail twice. For the next 10 months, hundreds of officers, FBI agents, National Guard soldiers, helicopters, search dogs, and volunteers scoured the forest. During the search, they discovered: check, boot prints matching Hart's size; check, ropes similar to those Hart used in previous crimes; check, the girls' clothing scattered across multiple areas; check, a hidden cave functioning like a small hideout. Multiple times, police came close to catching him, but Hart always managed to vanish again, helped by loyal supporters who believed the government was framing him. Finally, in April 1978, officers raided a farmhouse deep in Cherokee territory. Inside a small wooden storage box, they found Gene Leroy Hart, silent and motionless, trying not to breathe. He was arrested. The entire state celebrated. People believed justice was finally coming, but they were wrong. In 1979, the nation watched as the trial began. The prosecution brought forward footprints from the scene, knots identical to Hart's past crimes, the flashlight with black tape, witness statements, evidence from the cave, clothing and materials linked to Hart. But the defense pushed back, claiming the evidence was circumstantial. Nothing directly proved Hart committed the murders. DNA in 1977 was too primitive to give accurate results. After weeks of testimony, the jury returned with a shocking verdict. Jean Leroy Hart was found not guilty of all 3 murders. Chaos filled the courtroom. Families cried in disbelief. Investigators felt destroyed. The public was outraged. Hart was still sent back to prison for earlier crimes. But 2 months later, he collapsed during a workout and died of a heart attack. He took his secrets with him. Thank you so much for watching today's detailed true crime story. If you want more stories like this, please subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon, and stay connected with the Global Studio for more real-life crime mysteries. Take care, friends, and see you in the next video.